Hi everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a quick share for you guys. This is the layout I made for the Conversions of a Paper Addict Design Team Takeover weekend. So it was a live video, so if you see my hands moving around like that a lot, it's because I was live. So for my challenge, so we all had to come up with a challenge, and we all got a time slot where we took over the Facebook group, which was awesome. So I decided to do a live video, and I made a layout for one of my honeymoon photos. And I've used that cut file there that you saw in the beginning. It's the Starfish Border cut file. It's absolutely stunning. I've been looking for an excuse to use it. And I have backed it off camera, obviously, and I left some of the little starfish empty on purpose. I just wanted the background paper to show through. So the paper I'm using here is a Craft paper from the Sandy Toes collection. It's an older beach-themed layout, but it's just kind of like a washed-out burlap textured background in a pale blue. And so I've just trimmed that down to I think the dimensions are 8.5 by 11 3/4, something like that. It's close to 8.5 by 12 anyway, just a tiny bit shorter. So the size technically is A4, so that's the size I'm doing my honeymoon album in. And the reason is I can get the page protectors and the albums cheap and easily. So this is the photo I'm using. It's a gorgeous beach we came across when we were on our honeymoon. Our honeymoon was in Tasmania, so it was cold. The day wasn't too cold. I mean, we were wearing jeans, so it wasn't warm, but the water was very cold. Southern Ocean, icy cold. So didn't go swimming, but I mean, look at that sky. It was such a beautiful day, and there was all these big bundles of driftwood that you can see in the picture. I just love the texture and the imagery of that. So I snapped a pic and it came out really nicely. So I really wanted to feature it on a page. Just adding a bit of a white border there. And I'm going through my little bag of embellishments. So the kit I'm using is a kit that I put together myself. I had a couple of the items from the Crepe Paper Sunny Days collection. I think I had the stickers and the ephemera. I think that's it. I didn't get any of the papers. So I just put the kit together with some of my own papers from my stash, and then some more bits and pieces from my stash to sort of supplement the embellishments. So I'm just going through my little embellishment bag, and I pulled out some Project Life cards that I'm going to layer behind my photo, and I've also pulled out a couple of layered stickers there that I think I might use. So I'm going to use that chevron-y, stripy card. I'm going to use the pale pink as well. I'm just going to layer them kind of like that, kind of offset. Just want to add a couple of little layers behind my photo. The great thing about this layout is the cut file takes up so much real estate on the page that I don't have to do much to it other than that. So the video ends up being quite short. It only took me,
I'd say 40 minutes to make this page, which was pretty quick for me from start to finish. So backing the cut file took a bit longer, but as I've mentioned before, when I back cut files, I tend to do them in front of the TV, so it's very relaxing time for me. I quite enjoy doing it. So I'm just layering those up like that, and I'm going to tuck it down in the bottom left hand corner of my page. I want the cut file to just layer over the edges of my photo. So I'm just going in here and sticking my cut file down, and I'm going to use a tacky glue for that. I'm just putting some behind each of the backed starfish, and I do go in a little bit later and put a bit behind the unbacked starfish, just sort of where I've cut them off on the edge there where they're sort of sticking up, but I don't glue down any of the inside edges, if that makes sense. So I don't want the whole thing to look like it's really stuck down to the page. I'm not adding any foam behind, so I really need the extra dimension that you get when you don't glue all the edges right down. So you can see there that the inside edges are still lifting up a little bit off the page. Just gives that really subtle dimension. Okay, that is all done. So now I'm just going to pop my photo back there, and you can see I'm just layering over those little arms of the starfish just a little bit, not really covering much of my photo at all. It's just helping it blend into the layout, make it look like it belongs there. So I pulled out the ephemera from the Sunny Days collection. I don't think any of this makes it except for that Relax Unplug piece, which is going to be my title. So I just find I really struggle with this embellishment pack. It's just all squares. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like when I have a bag of embellishments, I kind of like, I mentioned this in the live video, but I like shapes, you know, a lot of like the things that are on the sticky sheets, all the little cute bits and pieces. And I really struggle when it's just sort of big squares of things. I hope that makes sense. So I'm popping in that little beach umbrella. It's adorable and it's a perfect colour to match with the papers I've used to back my cut file. Tried to pop that crane in, but I just couldn't get him to work. It was a bit too big and kind of awkward shaped. I'm going to use this layered sticker. This was from the Harvey Norman Instax range, I think. A friend bought it for me quite a while ago now, probably a couple of years ago, if I'm being honest with myself. And I haven't used many of them, so but I really like this camera, so I am going to squeeze it in just down the bottom there. And I love this bird. I struggle to place him, so I do take him off, but he will make it back onto the layout in a little while. So once I have filled in a little bit more, he will make it back. So I wasn't even intending to use this, but it just slotted right in nicely in that spot, and I figured it's a good spot to do my journaling. I'm not sure what the text says, I'm afraid. Something about vacation, which works perfectly. We were on vacation for sure. Okay, now I'm bringing in some of this jute ribbon. I was really determined to get this on here. I've been trying to find a way to use it since I first bought it. I haven't had it that long, but I've been really keen to get using it. So I'm just slicing it. It reminds me of like a fishing net or rope or something like that. So I thought it just went really nicely with the organic wood grain of the driftwood in my photo. So I'm just slicing it up so it's not a sharp straight edge, and I'm just having it peek out just behind there. I love it. It looks so good. It's such a good effect for beach layouts and like nautical themed layouts. It's great. I feel like it would go really nicely with rustic sort of country layouts as well. So that was just from Kmart. It was like $3 for the roll, so I feel like I might need to get some for backup. And I just made sure to put plenty of wet glue back there because, yeah, it's not going to stick with anything else. So now I've brought in that little bird. He tucks in just perfectly in that little spot left. I'm really pleased I managed to get him on there. So I'm just going to draw a little border, just a quick doodly border around my title piece here. I just felt like it was a bit too big block of cream just sitting there. Yeah, I didn't like, I really like the title and the sentiment, and it fits perfectly in that space. I just needed it to stand out a bit more, so I took a blue gel pen. It's in pretty much exactly the same tone as the sky, so that really helped make it feel like it belonged there. And I'm just tucking it in. I'm deliberately offsetting it so it's not straight on the page. I'm kind of, yeah, I like things on angles. So my photo is not perfectly straight and my journaling spot isn't perfectly straight, so I like things to be sort of at a jaunty angle. I'm doing a trio of enamel dots here. I really like the pink and the mint, and I am using yellow. There's no other yellow on this layout, but I just like the little pop of soft yellow. So what I'm doing is tucking those yellow ones just underneath the edge of the cut file a little bit so they don't seem so in your face. And then to finish off, I'm going to go in with my white Uniball Signo broad and just do a doodly border all the way around the outside of the page. I just felt like the way my silhouette cut that cut file, it was too big of a gap between the edge of the cut file and the edge of the page. It looked kind of abrupt, so I thought if I did a border it would help extend that, like close that space in, and it does. So I was really happy that I made that decision. And then I'm going to go in and do my journaling just quickly. So make sure you check out the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group, because we do stuff like this. I wouldn't say all the time, but pretty regularly. We always have fun challenges and things like that. Whenever we have a milestone celebration or something, we always do something really fun. So definitely head over to the group. I'll leave the link in the description box, and check out the Etsy shop as well, because there's so many amazing, gorgeous cut files in there now. I did just go in off camera and add a few little shell stickers that I had in my stash that I meant to add, but I just completely forgot to do that on camera. So you will see those in the close-ups. And I'm all done. The close-ups are coming up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.